Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So it's the beginning of a month, and as with the end of the month where it's time for another crystal reflection, in the beginning of each month on my channel it's time for another thank you next. And this is the format where I talk about an oracle or tarot or other cartomancy kind of deck um, that I currently still have in my collection, but that I decided to part with, just because I felt a need to declutter my collection, and I really discovered when I was really focused on um, what I really use and what I don't use and what I connect with and what I really love and what not, that there were some decks in there that just it was just time to part with them and to let them go. So in each of those videos in this Thank You Next series, I will talk about one of those decks, um, show you some of the cards, how it comes in terms of packaging and guidebook, and talk about the reasons why I decided to part with it. Um, and if I have another oracle or tarot deck that I will use instead, or that will um, fill that gap in my collection or that purpose in my collection, then I will show that to you instead. Um, a little disclaimer here in the beginning: this series and these videos in that video series, aren't meant to harm any of the creators or to talk shit about the creators or the oracle decks or anything like that. There isn't anything wrong with any of those decks that I will show in this series or that I have showed in this series. Most of them, if not all of them, are perfect decks and beautiful and gorgeous in terms of their artwork, in terms of their guidebook packaging, quality wise, etc. And I'm sure that there are a lot of people out there who will connect or have connected with the deck and who love to work with it. It's just, a personal thing with card decks in general. And maybe just a little reminder for you to not only put the focus too much on card decks that you don't have in your collection and that you want and new things, but also to put the focus on the things that you already have. And so that you don't buy a lot of decks, if you still have one that could fill that gap or that fills that gap in your collection or that is quite similar, and also to focus on the decks that maybe it's time to part with. So that as a little reminder in the beginning. And this time it is this deck. This is actually the German edition of this deck, but there's also an English version of it out there. I bought this one at a bookstore here in Germany where I live. So some of my decks are in German or are the German versions of it, but this is also, as I said, available in an English edition, and I need to take a look at what it's called. It's the Whispers of Healing Oracle by Angelica Hartfield and Josephine Wall. So I bought this deck. I knew nothing about this deck. I haven't seen a lot of the images at that point where I bought it. Um, because it was at a bookstore. I was on a shopping trip, and in the bookstore that we only have one bookstore here in this city where I live, and it just has a little section, a really small section, where it has some books and maybe a handful of oracle decks to buy. Um, So sometimes I stop by that bookstop and look what they have. And most of the times, the oracle decks that they have don't talk to me, or I'm not drawn to them, because this most of the times it's the most popular, like Doreen Virtue, angel kind of stuff. But sometimes there is one that I'm like, why don't get this one there and don't buy it from Amazon or order it or anything? And this one was one that I stumbled upon, and I bought it because I had already another Oracle deck with the artwork by Josephine Wall, and I love that Oracle deck and I love her artwork in general. It's so gorgeous and so beautiful. I guess I could show you some cards while I'm rambling. Um, it's so gorgeous, so beautiful, so detailed, so magical, and like in another world, actually. And at that time, I thought about, well, I like that other Oracle deck with her artwork a lot, and I wanted another deck, if there was one available with her artwork, because I just loved her artwork so much. And I stumbled upon this in that bookstore and just bought it. And there's nothing wrong with this deck. I think the artwork in this deck is also gorgeous. And the keywords in this deck are also, you can work with them. And they're some different, and this deck even feels different energy wise than the other Oracle deck that I have of the same creators. Um, So that wasn't the issue, or that was the issue. Not that it was like I already have that deck and it's not different enough from the other deck that I have, but the issue was that I didn't get the same vibes and same energy with, like with the other deck, and I just couldn't connect with this one as intensely as I did with the other one. And so therefore I didn't use it. I used this deck probably 2 times or 3 times, and every time I did use it, I loved the artwork, but I couldn't connect with it. And I couldn't connect with the messages. It didn't really talk to me. Of course, I could look at the keyword and get some kind of a message out there, but it was not like the flow of a message or a story that the cards are telling you, that intense connection and intuition thing. And I don't know why it is with this deck, because with the other one that I have with the artwork by Josephine Wall, I have that, and her artwork is beautiful and very detailed and very like storytelling just in one image. You can get so much out of that, of those images, but it just won't happen with this deck. So I barely used it because of that, because I felt like I haven't connected enough with it, or this connection between us isn't strong enough, is just not there. And every time I was drawn to working with her images, I used the other one. So I finally decided that it is probably time to give this deck away because I don't use it. And firstly, I don't use it. Secondly, I cannot connect to this in the way that I want to connect with it, so that I really have intense and fluid readings. And thirdly, I have the other deck from Angela Hartfield and Josephine Wall, which is the Nature's Whispers Oracle, also the German edition, which I will use instead. Because with that deck, I have an instant connection, and I have that intuitive hits and that very fluid, intuitive message that comes through also, and also intense messages. And it just feels different to me energetically. also. I don't know why, because as I said, the same creators, the same author, the same artwork, but it just feels different. So I decided to part with this one and probably learned a little lesson that if you have a deck from an artist and a creator that you really like, that doesn't mean that you need all the other decks that are out there from those creators. And that doesn't mean that you have the same experiences and that same connection with every other deck of those same, even if there's the decks are by the same creators. So that's the lesson that I learned from that. So you saw the cards, you saw the backings of the cards. These are beautifully matte finished cards. The box is beautiful and sturdy, as you can hear. Easy to open with those thumb holes. So even quality-wise, there's nothing to complain about. You have a beautiful guidebook with little black and white images, a message on each of the cards. Um, you even have the introduction and the table of contents here. And as much as I would as I would like to love and connect with this deck as intensely as I did with the other, with the Nature's Whispers, I accept now that it just won't happen, and I love my Nature's Whispers instead. So that was that. So now I like to know from you, if you have this deck, what do you think about it? Do you love it? Was it a deck that you gave away also, or that you decided to part with also? Um, have you had her other deck, The Nature's Whispers? Do you love her artwork as much as I do? And also, if you had that same experience where you had a deck which you really loved and you loved the artwork and you had awesome experiences, and then you bought another one because of that experiences that you had with the deck, um, and you bought another one from the same creators because you thought you had that instant connection also with that and you wanted one more, and then it just won't click with the other deck. So if you had the same experience as I did with this one, let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear if I'm not the only one in that with that experience. So I would love to read your comments. Also, don't forget to like, share, and this video, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed, who stayed subscribed on my channel, even though I didn't upload a lot of videos in the last couple of weeks because life got crazy. But I will, yeah, it is back to normal again. So I hope that it will stay in that normal, yeah, in the normal way. So I can upload again regularly. So thank you for watching. Until next time. Bye.